Hopefully everybody's getting a lot of sunshine today as the storm has finally passed. My name is Rich Ziegler, and on behalf of the Silver Sage District, we welcome you to Roundtable. It's council-wide this month. We've got a pretty good program lined up for you today. And as you come in, you're certainly welcome to rename yourself so that it includes your district and unit. And real briefly, our schedule is going to be, we're going to have an opening and welcome right now. Then we will have a special session that talks about Scout Book. Then we will briefly gather and go into a break, or I guess we're already gathered, so we won't gather, but we'll break into 3 sessions. One that will be for all of the key 3 members, so that's a COR, committee chair, and unit leader. Another one for the Cubs, and another breakout that is for Scouts. So those breakouts will go for about 10 or 12 minutes, and I think we're going to come right back at 7:50. And then we'll break out into the individual districts for district announcements. And at the end of those district business, the meeting will be over. We won't convene all back together. So without any further ado, and I want to also welcome our council commissioner, Brett Sutherland. He's with us today. Also want to recognize John Mills. He is the district executive for the Silver Sage District. And I guess we'll go to the prayer, which will be by Rob Hendrickson.
Please prepare in the manner of your custom. Our Heavenly Father, we're grateful to Thee for these opportunities that we have to gather, to learn how to be better leaders, and to learn how to provide a fantastic program for this youth. And we ask Thee please to help us to listen with open hearts and open minds to the ideas presented tonight and find ways to implement them in our programs. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, now we will turn the time over to Kathy Mills for the pledge. There should be a flag that'll momentarily show on the screen, and we'll let Kathy take it away.
Hey. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2.
Okay, and then we have our oath and law that will be led by David Hatch.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. The Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Okay, thank you. I just have a temptation to do a cheer, but I won't do that. I'm a Cub Master in Pack 37. All right, moving right along. If you've just joined us, you're welcome to rename yourself to include your district and unit that you're with. And at this point, I will turn the time over to Ann. And I didn't catch your last name, Ann, but we're going to learn about Scout Book.
Before we do that, Rich, really quick, let's ask Brett Sutherland if he wants to say anything.
Thank you. The only thing I'd like to say is it's wonderful to see so many great Scouters all together. I love it when we can see each other in person, but this is second best. Thank you all for everything you do and for keeping Scouting great.
All right, thank you, Brett. And now we'll turn the time over to Ann.
Thank you. Ann Wilson is the name. Let me share my screen because this is a live performance here. Okay, good, and I can see you guys over there. Okay, so we are getting a quick overview of not the basics of Scout Book, but more the side things that we can do, the other things that are expanding other than just the keeping track of our advancement. Hopefully you guys all have that down. So we're going to talk about a few other things. First one is if you know the calendaring, they're pretty cool. You can set your meetings. If you create a meeting here, let's make one today or yesterday. This is what it looks like. You can choose if you're in multiple troops. I've got kids in the troop and in the pack, 2 different troops. I have sons and daughters. And so you choose the troop you're putting it in. It's pretty straightforward. It automatically remembers. There's certain things, but it remembers what you put in last, your location, and that it'll put it in. So new meeting, I can type. And you can put your start date and time. Like I said, it remembers what you did last. If I switch the troop meeting to Court of Honor, it usually changes the date and time. No, I guess it doesn't. Anyways, oh, it didn't change it. Oh, set. So it sets it to the last time you did a Court of Honor, the time and the time that you had set. So it remembers things for you, and it helps to when you're putting in a whole bunch. We typically try to sit there while they're doing their planning meetings, their PLCs, and we have someone sitting there logging as the boys are making the plans. We're logging these meetings immediately. You can change your invitees. You can limit it down to just the 2 leaders that are coming and the kids. Go ahead, write that. I can click. Set that, so then you just have the leaders that are coming. We have a very small troop. You can limit, there's permission slips, RSVPs, all of this. Right now, these scheduled reminders are not working for future. So if you want to send a reminder out, you need to come in and do a send now, and it will send a message out. So if you come in a day ahead or 2 days ahead that you want to schedule it, you come in, do a send now. What you do is you do a click, send now, and then when you save it, it sends the email message to everybody. It sends it to all of these people, all of the youth, if they have an email, but also to all of their parents. So you're never getting that one-on-one effect. In here, you can add your advancements. So you can go specifically to whatever merit badge you're going to work on. Choose one, set it. And then once you've set it, then you come back in here and then you can choose the specific ones that you're going to be working on. Now, this becomes extremely valuable because once you've set the ones that you're doing, you set the whole message. Did I turn that off? Turn it off. Manage reminders. Cancel. Okay. When you save this, you can add notes in here too. Once you save this, then the cool thing is now when you come in from your calendar for your meeting, this is my new meeting here. Here we're having our meeting. You click this lovely button. It works great on your phone. You say, this person's here, this person's here, this person's here, this person's here, leaders, they're all here, save it. So now you've just marked what you did that meeting and you marked all the kids that are there. So backtracking and seeing if everybody's finished their advancement requirements is much easier because of this ability to track the actual requirements and the people who were actually at the meeting because of that, okay?
Ann,
Yes, sir.
we have a question that's come online. It looks like it's been answered, but want to make sure everybody sees this question or hears it. It says, I am curious to know if they have added the ability to add to the Google Calendar. Do you know anything about that? Zook from 72 says, you can do this using the built-in Google Calendar functionality. Do you know anything about that? Are you able to show that?
As far as I know, there is no way to link the two.
If I may, it's not so much a link as it is. If you scroll down just a little bit, Ann, let's say right there, Troop 808G, your lime green one up at top, you hit subscribe. This gives you an ICS file. If you copy this URL, and then in your Google Calendars, you say add a calendar and subscribe. It's going to ask you for the URL you're subscribing to. You paste this URL in, and boom, everything on your Scoutbook calendar is automatically external. Yep, there you go. Anything you change on your Scoutbook calendar is immediately there in your Scoutbook Troop 808 calendar too. So you don't have to duplicate. If you have an Android phone or an iPhone, you now have to, on your phone, go into your calendar app and tell it to update so it'll sync over to your phone. It's a Google limitation. It's not a Scoutbook limitation, but it is there.
Okay, thank you. That actually helps. I did not realize that that was a possibility anymore, or at this point. So that's cool. So, okay, so that's calendaring. It's pretty straightforward. As you can see, we use the calendaring a lot with all of our troops and packs. You'll see we doing the same things, and so you might see where you're with several troops together like this. We can actually have a meeting where we're doing, like, if we're in the parade together, we can create one single event and link everybody, all 3 calendars to that event, and all 3 of the calendars will show up with that single event for, like, the parades or something where we're doing it together. So we enjoy the calendaring. Let's see. Did you know, little known fact, maybe some people know it, maybe some people don't. In your troop, if you go into print your blue cards and you scroll down, you can check any one of these that you need to, but you scroll down to the bottom here and you have this lovely little, so would you check which ones you need? You can sign all the merit badges at once. When you're doing those summer camps and they're all getting their merit badges, right there, put all the merit badges in, and then you click that button. You can start at the top here with a checkbox to check all of them. And then you just go to the bottom so you can see all the checked. You scroll to the bottom and you sign the merit badges, they're all done. Boom. Lot fewer clicks. Okay. So if you didn't know that one exists, it does. There is a messaging ability. You can be within your roster. I'm sorry, not within the rosters. It's in the troop. Where's my message? Send messages there. You know it's there. Again, I'm in multiple troops and packs, so I can send them to any one of them. When you're doing it, you can click on the person you want to send to. It does say up here, when you email youth, we automatically include the parents and guardians. So you always have that 2 deep. Even if you're emailing a youth leader about, hey, have you checked up on this? We don't have any in our pack or in our troop that have their own email accounts. But when you would check that, it would send, that's when it would send out to the parents as well. But you can lovely see how big and bright they are. And then you can choose to either email or text. They go out 4 seconds. I'm not kidding you. Now, if you have more people, it might be a lot longer, but depending on how many you have, you'll notice right here in the middle, it says that they can accept text messages. So all your leaders in here or your parents can choose in their profile. So back here.
Before you move on to the profile, Anne, really quick, what you just did for the mass, the bulk signing as a unit leader,
oh,
the
yeah.
question has come up, can merit badge counselors do that as well? And I believe they can, but do you know?
Yes. That's what this portion is here, and that's going to be your quick entry for merit badge counselors. You can sign the completed merit badges right there, and you can click all the merit, 1 merit badges at a time, and all the people for that merit badge. That's different from this. Is the leader has to sign when the kids are signing up for the merit badge. That's what that other one is for the leaders to sign do that first initial, yes, you can go do this. But the merit badge counselors would come into this section here, and they would choose sign completed merit badges. They would choose their merit badge, and then they come down here and choose, oh, I don't have anyone for there now. Let's see, do I have any on art? Yeah. So you have your merit badge, you choose which kids are done with it. Down here at the bottom, you put the date completed, and then you save it, and you've signed all of those kids at the same time. Okay, so merit badge counselors can do it, but you have to do it 1 by 1, single merit badge at a time. You can't do multiple merit badges. So it'll only choose 1 merit badge at a time. Does that help?
Now, I'm just going to ask a question. If it's a merit badge counselor that's not a part of the unit, they probably won't be able to see the youth in that unit.
No.
Unless the Scoutmaster adds you to them, then you can see them after.
Yes, the Scoutmaster can assign the youth to a merit badge counselor, and then they will see them.
Parents
can too.
Okay, great.
Scoutmasters or parents.
So what that looks like, let me go to my daughter here.
And Dave, we'll get to you and your question here in just a second.
The problem is there's so many steps to get down to it. I'm here at advancement. Let's keep going. Thinking. Okay, here's my merit badges. When you go into a merit badge, at the top here, if you don't have an assigned merit badge counselor, it'll have a button that says you can invite a merit badge counselor, and then you click through that and it goes to the connections thing, and you find the merit badge counselor by name and enter them, then click the button. You search by their name and phone number. There's several pieces of information. So you get the information from the merit badge counselor list at the beginning. Then you put it in here to find that person, and then they connect it here. Then this person now sees this youth for that particular merit badge. Does that make sense? So yes, all those people, even if you're outside of the council, this can still work. You can sign up, find them by anywhere, as long as you have the information to connect with them. And then that merit badge counselor will be able to sign everything down. Okay. Dave Thomas, you have a question.
Yes, when the merit badge counselor does that, does that automatically update the Scouts advancement on Scout Book?
Yes, it does. Yes, it tracks when you're looking at the advancements, when a merit badge is completed, it will track it in immediately in here in their advancement. Go right back to where I was. So it immediately, so this one is completed and it's been awarded. That's the yellow. You've got 3 different levels. It's completed, approved, and awarded. So completed is blue, approved is green, and it's been awarded, it turns yellow. And those are all immediately. As soon as you log it, it's there. And then we use the print blue. You can actually print your merit badges, the merit badge cards through this system. So once the merit badges, if you've got 100 merit badges, do you really want to handwrite them all out? It's easier to print them. And so even though the merit badge counselors, once they sign them off, it can be printed immediately.
Yeah, we have one other question related to merit badges.
Okay.
Rick from Troop 111 says, when I have tried to add a merit badge counselor for merit badges, I cannot always assign one. Are only certain people able to assign merit badge counselors?
That is a good question. I don't think it says anything here. It may be limited to admin. Well, actually, I think it would be limited to whether you're connected to the youth or not. If you don't have the edit connection to that youth, you might not be able to assign a merit badge counselor to them. But other than that, I don't think there's a restriction by administration powers or anything like that. Okay. Any other questions on merit badges while we're here?
Not online, no.
Okay. Okay. So that's merit badges. Messaging, we were going to go to messaging profile. So if you go back to your dashboard, this is what you're going to want everybody, all adult leaders, to do in order to do the text version. Is you're going to go to your dashboard and you're going to go to your own account, which will take you over to the My.Scouting, edit profile. It takes you over to the My.Scouting, and you're going to slide down here to this one here where have your cell phones numbers. You do have to put your carrier in. I don't know why they want that, but they need it. And then you check this box right here. I would like to receive messages, text messages. And then you have that ability. So if all of your leaders do that, you can text message them all through here, and you don't have to sit there with your thumbs trying to do it. You can, if you're a fast typer on the computer, it's way easier to send a text out this way. Okay, but that's where that is. It's in your own profile on the Internet Advancement site. So if you go to your account and then My Profile, edit profile, takes you back over there. Okay.
Now, if you do not have a carrier that is listed on their drop-down menu, does that mean you simply cannot receive those texts?
Possibly so. I don't know why that's required. I would test it out and see if you can just choose a different one and if it'll still go through. So, but it's got, I know it had, I just noticed AT&T and Verizon, so it seems to have all the big ones. I don't know if there's a small one that it doesn't have. So that would be a testing point. Would you report back to us what you find out?
I think the smaller ones are just resellers of the big ones. And so that's the trick, is to try to figure out which one it's associated with.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. Okay. Okay, so that's where your text messaging, oh, someone else has a hand up. Just saw it go up. Dave Thomas, yes.
Yes, no, each person has to update their own profile. Isn't that correct?
That is
I
correct.
can't, yeah. We've run into difficulty with that.
Well, again, all that is limiting is it's going to limit you not being able to send a text to that person. So you might have to say, send your message out as an email and as a text, just because some people don't have the texting ability.
Yeah. What we found is we can't put in a person's training. Only the person who took the training can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And not everybody has access to Scout Book. I mean, they don't, when I say they don't have access, they may not have a computer or a phone that's capable of accessing it, or the personal skills.
I believe at that point you would want to contact Annette Sholey, and I think, is that who it is that does the training documentation?
Annette is our person at the council that can really fix a lot of Scout Book problems. But if you've got someone who is just not a computer person, doesn't want to use the computer, doesn't want to use Scout Book, there's really no way around that. I mean, that it is set up today because we are kind of in a technology age. The expectation is that all your parents and your leaders would have access to Scout Book. The Scout Book isn't any different than My.Scouting. For them to do youth protection training, they have to go on My.Scouting, and it's the exact same password to get into Scout Book.
Commissioners can update training. They have that authority. So
most of your District Key 3 people can do that. Your district executive, your district commissioner, district chair, your district training chair can do that. But if you want it done at the unit level, you know, if a person is wanting to log a training, they have to do their trainings on My.Scouting.
Unit Key 3 and Key 3 delegates can also add it.
Okay, different places. So that might be something, maybe a future training on how to log training. Does that make sense, John?
I'll tell you what, for you Key 3 people who are going to be going to the Key 3 breakout, we'll cover that briefly during the Key 3 breakout.
I knew there'd be a good solution. Okay, couple other fun things. When you get in here to your patrols or your roster, wherever you're looking, you do have the ability to change what you're looking at. This lovely little setting button here, you can show their next rank. And then you have a lovely little slider when it gets here that tells you how close they are to the next rank. So you can see the rank, current rank, and then the next rank, and you just see, you're so close, let's finish up. You just got 1 or 2 more to go. So it's a quick visual to see that. You've also got the birth dates that could be listed, and if you want to see parent names as well. So those are some settings there. Settings here, you can just show the contact information, and you can also sort it by the first name or by last name, both for the roster, for the youth, and for the adults. Okay, and then you can show how last time this other adult leaders might have come in. Those are important information for you to see visually or to quick look. Okay, so that's just a real quick, there's not much to do in the patrol settings. Down here, however, we did want to make a point here with these buttons are really Do not use the add new scout here. When you're adding a new scout, that always needs to go through the either a paper form turned in to the district or through the Be a Scout invitation manager program, where you can receive and send invitations and do it electronically, applications. So don't use this to add a new scout, because then you'll end up, it doesn't actually go into the scouting system. When you're waiting for a new scout to be approved, now mind you, if you do the online application, it goes through very fast. I don't remember the speed now, but my memory is it's pretty much like almost overnight. So once it gets a reset through, if the payments and everything are made, then it comes through very quickly. If for some reason, I know we ran into the problem where we were waiting for the charters to finish last year, and we had several girls who had joined us with a new charter. We took the time on those calendar meetings. There's ability to comment on the activities. We commented on the activities, taking additional roles for those other youth that were there, but because they were not yet in the system, they didn't have a profile that we could mark their advancement off. So we would take a role and just make a comment underneath that event that said the other people that were there. So just so you know, that's how we've dealt with that. Reassigning scouts is moving them from one patrol to another. And you can do that through that. It's usually easier to go into the patrol and move them from the inside of the patrol though. Or you go to the specific scout. As I've done it, I usually go to the scout, go to their membership here and change their patrol inside of membership. You can reassign the patrol in here. It's usually easier to do it this way than to do it from the patrol side. It's supposed to work the same way, but it comes up a little bit differently. So just so you know, I usually reassign the members, the patrols from in the patrol, from in the person and not from inside of the patrol. Okay, let me think. What do I got here? Do you know that you can record payments for all of your youth in here? Each youth, you can record payments. How you do that is up to you, but you have the ability to record payments here, and you can record monthly dues. So you can set, if you're doing a monthly dues, you pay it, you can say every month. You could set it for the whole year, and then each month it pays after. You mark it when they pay it. You pay it against that same account. There's various choices in there. Just know that it exists. You're really going to have to play with it because there's a lot of different options, and how well you understand accounting practices will come into how you choose to use that. That includes using it on the troop level. So when the money comes in, then you have your troop, where is it? Troop payments logs. And with that, you can, you have an accounting for what your whole troop holds in their accounts, and you can mark out payments for, when you make a payment, you mark it in here for the whole camp or for troop purchases, kinds of things when you're expending the money. So you can record it both on the youth level and on the troop level. And it does apply. So if you put in for the youth and say that there's a charge for a particular camp, $20 charge, you put it on the youth. Then when you go into pay, when the youth pays you for that, you go into it and you apply it to that specific camp. And so it pulls it out of the way. So you're doing a constant rotation through that. So I'm just going to tell you, it's really worth it to go in there and investigate it and figure it out how your troop wants to do it. But the payments ability is in there. Okay. And then other than that, the other thing I wanted to point out is that we do have troop reports. They are on the troop level and they are also in the patrol level. There's a lot of different reports here. The funnest ones that I love, that this helps you get through things fast. These need approval. Okay, a merit badge counselor has signed off his merit badges. Yes, we know that they did. We're approving all. That approval is done. Now I go back to my troop. Then I go back to my, where's my reports? There's reports. Click up. Needs purchasing. Now a troop, now I have a listing of all those things that I just approved. Here's your whole list. You create a purchase order, then you walk into the store and you can have that whole list of things right there. It's all compiled for you. And you're ready to just say, I need 5 of these, 12 of that, 2 of this, and you've got the whole list right there ready for you under that purchase order. So you just check your boxes here and create your purchase order. And you can continue to add to a purchase order. Once you've purchased it, then you close the purchase order. And you can always go back and review those previous purchase orders and see what you've purchased and who you've got. So if you bought something, someone wasn't there, you can go back and track, hey, we bought 5 of these, we never handed them out, where are they? Find them in your stuff, okay? But it helps immensely when you're going to the store. When John called me for this, because he remembers one that I did, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, before COVID, I had done a training on this, and this is what I literally had them pull out their phones. I said, who's got a timer? Pull out your phone. Okay, say, click, start your timer. And I showed them this process. We were doing it for the Cubs at the time, was what I was in. All the leaders would mark off the advancements. I said, I walked home. I realized that I had to go to get the awards for the PAC meeting that night. It was 4:30. The PAC meeting starts at 6. I sat down I was sitting in my car in my driveway. I said, needs approval, click. All of them are done. Okay, needs purchase, click, add them to the purchase order, done. Went to the store, 5 minutes, I was at the store, it was local here at the time, and I was purchasing those awards for those boys, and I had them ready for them for the PAC meeting. Then I was able to print the purchase order, and it lists them, you can print it by the youth, so it lists all of their things in order, and you can just, this one, put them in a bag, this one, put them in a bag, and you're done. It was really, really fast. But I think when I did the reports and I showed them there, I think they figured it came out to be like 1 minute and 30 seconds, and I was ready to walk in the door of the scout shop to purchase the awards. Yes, sir.
We have a couple minutes left and a couple questions really quick.
Let's go with it.
And they're related right there to where you are, so don't leave where you are.
Okay.
One is, can we see what a purchase order looks like? I don't want to ask you to do that because you may not be ready to create a purchase order for this.
Oh, I can show you one of these ones right here.
Okay.
Where's my show me? Right here. This is what it looks like. And it would print out very much. It would print just with this same format right here.
You can also create a purchase order, Anne, and then just keep adding to the same purchase order as you go.
Yes, you can keep adding to it, and then until you close it, you can keep adding to it. I just haven't created one for my girls yet.
Okay, and then a second question, can you make closing out a purchase order, take that amount from the payment log?
No, you have to go in and actually take that money and say you spent that much money and put it in as purchasing awards.
Okay. And any final questions for Anne before we close up this section and go to our program breakouts?
Just one more thing while she's right there. My unit still attaches the merit badges to the cards. You can print the cards right here from this thing as well, so you don't have to handwrite every single one.
Yes, you can buy the sheets of 8.
Right
See
here.
how here it shows the sheets of 8? You can buy the sheets of 8 and there's a template to print it right on those sheets.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Melissa.
Which one of these they are, and then you print it. I would definitely recommend you print on a plain sheet of paper and line them up and check which one, because it's hard to remember and they do slide a little bit. So I would do a test print before you use the cards. But yeah, that's where you print them.
So, Rich, I know you were supposed to do the transition to the breakout, but if it's okay with you, we're just gonna share with our. We've got 3 breakouts going right now. Annalise will be doing the Cubs, and Steve Bunker will be doing the Scouts BSA. And for you CORs and committee chairs and anybody else who wishes to join,
Let me share my screen. while that's happening, I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit about myself. I am the Scouts BSA Roundtable Chair for the Silver Sage District. I'm also an Assistant Scoutmaster with a troop here in Provo. Well, actually, I shouldn't say here in Provo because right now I'm up in Anchorage, Alaska.
Yep.
Okay, so I created a little survey, a Google survey. I'm always trying to figure out what can I do to best serve the people in my district. Here's a link to a survey. You're welcome to take that now or later. That's just going to help me tailor the presentations I give throughout the year. What's going to be most helpful to you? I know that we have the whole council with us, or everybody that can come from the whole council. And I don't mind if it would be interesting to find out what everyone else thinks about what's most appropriate for their group. Okay, let's see if I can go to the next slide. Okay, this is some material you can view offline. I try to do every one of our presentations with a safety moment. Here's some links and some information that you can view offline. It's one of the things we just want to make sure that we keep in mind is a safe scouting opportunity for all our scouts and leaders. Let's see if I can keep going. Another thing I try to do is to give a new an outing place to go with scouts. I'm not sure if many of you have ever been to the metal lava tubes. It's down near Fillmore, Utah. I know that for some people that's closer than other people. Some people who are up in, north of Salt Lake, this may not be an activity you could do for just an overnight camp out or for a longer period of time. Let me just quickly tell you about it. Near Fillmore, Utah, the central of the state of Utah, there's some old volcanic deposits, and there are some lava tubes you can go through. These are lava tubes that are large enough that you can walk straight up through them. They're not like you're crawling and spelunking through them. If you have been there or want to make a comment about that, that's terrific. Otherwise, we'll just keep going. I have a link to a Google Earth map if you want to get there. From Utah Valley, it takes about maybe 2.5 hours. Just beware that we never camped inside the tubes, but we camped down the surface. If I'm correct, it's BLM land, so it is the right price. It's free, but there are no amenities. You have to take all your water. There are no bathroom facilities. You have to do cat holes. But it's a great opportunity for kids to do compass and map activities, some hiking. It's really a unique place to visit. Here's a recipe. I like to include one of those as well. This is a Dutch oven recipe. I actually I parked behind a car that said Dutch Oven Daddy, which kind of sparked my interest. And so there's a link to his website, and here's a Dutch oven recipe. I know that many times adult leaders cook for adult leaders, and we eat pretty good. And this looked like a fun recipe. I haven't tried it yet, but it looked like a good recipe to try out to do. And another thing I like to do in each roundtable session is to talk about a camp gadget. Eventually, I hope that I'm not the only one here giving these camp gadgets. We took a crew down to Philmont, and our ranger that stays with us for 2 days, each night he pulled out, when we came into the campsite, he took off his boots and he put on some Crocs, and those were his camp shoes around the campsite. They're lightweight. I couldn't wait to get a pair for me because the shoes that I took weren't very good for the campsite. But they're light, great for backpack, but I especially like them when you have to shower at camp. You have some shoes that you can walk to and from the shower.
Hey, Steve.
Slippers. Yes, go ahead.
These are also great for driving. Hard-won lesson. It's great to go camping and hiking in hiking boots. It's terrible to then drive 4 hours home in hiking boots. So to have a pair of these or something like them that you can switch into when you're driving your troop to and from activities is your back will thank you.
Yeah, great point. I have to tell you, I use them as slippers around the house now too. So then over here on the right-hand side, if you haven't heard of Hiker Direct, let me just quickly talk about that. You can buy Alps, I think it's Alps camping gear at wholesale prices. You just need to go in and register. Tents, if you're looking to purchase some troop tents or something, I purchased their 3-man, I think it's called Merrimack tent that I camp with my family. And that tent has served us well for 10 years now, I think. I purchased the tent that had what they call the outfitter bottom and outfitter zipper. And so it's a heavy duty bottom and a heavy duty zipper, and it's perfect for car camping. If I were to go backpacking with it, I'd give someone the fly to carry, someone the tent to carry, and someone the poles and pegs to carry. And it would be a great backpacking trip, camp, I should say tent too. But they have all kinds of tents. They give a discount, especially just for scouters, but you do have to sign up for it. If you click on that link right there, that is a link. If you click on it, it will take you to the Hiker Direct. And again, you get to buy that equipment at wholesale rather than retail prices. And it's the same equipment they sell in the fancy stores. A lot of the Jamboree contingents purchase their tents through Hiker Direct. So any questions on Hiker Direct?
Can I make a comment on those Crocs?
You bet.
Now, whatever you do when you use them, don't spill bologna on them.
Okay, I'm having a hard time hearing you. What did he say?
Don't spill bologna on your Crocs. That'd be a crock of bologna.
That's true. And then you'd have to put them in the bear bag if you're out backpacking. So, okay. See if I can go to the next. I'll leave this for you. I'm always keeping my eyes out for Scoutmaster's minutes to tell my scouts. And here's a Scoutmaster minute that I came across and I kind of rewrote to make sure it was a minute in length. But it's a fun little story, true story about Benjamin Franklin. That it would make a great Scoutmaster minute. Okay. I'm not sure. I think we have a little less than 15 minutes to jump into a discussion. If you'll click on this Jamboard right here, it's going to open up, it's kind of like a whiteboard, and then we can just kind of talk about things, and everybody has rights to type on this. So I'm not sure if you've ever used this before, but they're sticky notes. Let's see if the tool, show me by your thumb if you can see this on your computer. You don't have to see it through my computer, but if you click on that link, I think I should have shared it with you. There's sticky notes and labels, and I can write a sticky note. And then we can go ahead and talk about a couple of things and then write them down at the same time. I'm not sure where that line came, but so this link right here is a sticky note. This one's a text tool. You can draw and stuff. But let's just quickly talk about that as we go. Where are your troops going camping this summer? Okay, underage typing. This is an interesting thing. I picked my Scoutmaster when I was a Scoutmaster. One day I went and talked to him after I'd been a Scoutmaster, and I said, "How did you always find places to go camping for our summer camps?" And he says, "Well, we actually held that conversation at camp the year before." and we tried to register for a camp before Thanksgiving. There are still camp positions, I should say, camp spots open, and our council and other councils. So I haven't looked. How many people do we have in our group? Has your troop signed up for camp yet?
So which button are we clicking on to enter our what camp we're
So
going to?
yeah, if you come over here on this text one, the one I'm circling right over here.
Okay.
So someone wrote down there will be snow in week 1. Which camp is that? That Typhy?
There might be snow in Typhy.
Yeah. Who's been to Camp Hunt before? Tell us about it.
I loved Hunt. We went there last year. It was our very first time going. They run a very, very tight program where the youth are very encouraged to explore and get their own patches in their own free time, and also the stuff that you sign them up for. They have a very good blend of both.
I've been to the. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So I was just really surprised how much they were able to fit into such a small, narrow strip of land, and how much time my youth had for everything. They got everything done they wanted, and then some.
Where is Camp Hunt located?
Hunt is it's up at Bear Lake. It's right between the highway and the shore of the lake, just north of Garden City, right before, actually just north of the marina. So it's not very big at all, which is why they don't have a rifle range. They didn't have the space for one, honestly. And many of the campsites are kind of up against the highway, but after a while, you don't even notice them.
This is our first time at Hunt. We've been.
Our troop's first time at Hunt this year too, and we're excited.
I say we've been to the aquatic space several times. This is our first time at Hunt, but this is our year to be in council. We do that every other year, so the boys have time to raise the money to go out of council. But we're looking forward to it. It looks like a really nice camp. I've heard great things.
It's especially good for leaders, Harold and Rebecca. You're going to love this, and people are going to give me grief, I know. But if you go to the lodge, they have this huge balcony that overlooks the lake. If you go to the very south end of the balcony, you get 3 bars of cell service. You get a very nice breeze coming in from the lake. You have the most beautiful view and these really uncomfortable church pews that have been donated, but you can easily nap on while your kids go and do whatever they're doing. And you can just disappear in that spot. And it is heaven.
I'm going to pretend you didn't tell me that there's cell service, because that's my favorite part about Scout Camp.
Well, then it's really easy. You just move to the other side of the balcony.
Perfect. Okay.
Good.
You don't want to sit on the north end because that's where the main door is.
And don't forget the raspberry shakes.
Hey, you've got about a half a minute left.
Okay, so that's in town, right? The raspberry shakes, you have to go into town.
Sometimes they have it right there at the camp in the trading post.
Sometimes.
When we were there last year, they said the ice cream machine's broken and they don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Dang.
Who can tell me about Typhy? I've never been. Everyone tells me it's wonderful, but it's pretty high altitude, right? It will be cooler.
It's a
great. Typhy is great. However, when we went there 2 years ago, we got evacuated.
So we have a few announcements to remind you of, to bring to your attention. This here is, if you have not seen this, you can find it on the website or your district executive to get it to you. We have a few events coming up within the next month. The Shooting Sports Extravaganza is this weekend. If any of you wish to develop a shooting sports presence within your unit, you can attend this training. The Shooting Sports Committee is ready and willing to help you. It is a 3-day event, and you must attend all days in order to be qualified for the event or for the what's the word I'm looking for? I'm speaking faster than my mind will let me. To be certified, that's the word. Memorabilia auction is coming up as well, April 14th to 15th. Council Pinewood Derby, there are 2 different dates, one at the Ogden Service Center, one at the Orem Service Center. All of this stuff you can find online at utahscouts.org. We also want to give some time to our leaders of different colleges and trainings.
I will keep this really short. We're inviting all commissioners throughout the council and really anyone else who's interested to join us for our online College of Commissioner Science on Saturday morning, May 6th, starting at 8 a.m. It'll be a great college, lots of good courses, including things that I think would benefit other leaders besides commissioners. You can check it out at utahscouts.org/college. The link is active, registration is available, and we would love to have you participate. And best of all, it's free of charge.
Okay, and then NYLT.
I am Kathy Mills, and I am the course director for that course. And I want to let you know that our course is full at this point, but there is a waiting list, and they want to at least get on the waiting list for next year. We are hoping to have 2 courses. That is not a guarantee. We're hopeful to have that. But those who are on the waiting list are the first to get a whatever select if there are 2 courses. Also, we need to know if there are any of the adults who are interested in staffing NYLT. If they can send me a message, I can get that to those persons who are requesting that information. I think that was it, but please, please, please don't think that just because the course is full that they can't register. People do, drop out here and there before the course, so we don't want to turn anyone away, but please get registered.
Okay, and then Achilles Council in Wood Badge.
Achilles Council will be held July 26th to the 29th at Camp Tracy. This is a great camp for all Cub Scout leaders. It runs you through an entire year of Cub Scouting in 3.5 days. It's a lot of fun. It's a great course, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah, this is Patch with Wood Badge. You only have to take 1 day off of work. We hope you'll get the word out. That $200 that you see there is if they register by June 1st, and they also get a nice council shoulder patch. We have 2 staff members from every district in the council. So we hope that you'll get the word out and help us recruit. So our course is not full.
Fantastic. And one correction, the flyer that we showed earlier that showed that the shooting sports extravaganza is this weekend, it's incorrect. It is the first weekend of May. So join your district and you will be closing in your district. So thank you all for joining us tonight, and we will see you at some event down the line.